Is a business meeting of the Board of Education held in public. 30 minutes will be allotted to residents of the school district and staff to give the board the opportunity to listen to citizens. Remarks will be limited to 3 minutes and to 1 appearance, thus allowing for maximum number of participants in the allotted time in which citizens are to speak to issues. The board will not respond to comments at this time, but you will receive a response to any questions from the district superintendent and/or a member of the board within a reasonable amount of time after this meeting. Additionally, members of our community may contact individual board members to engage in dialogue about school matters. During this public comment period, we ask that speakers refrain from using profanity, and speakers who violate this rule may be asked to leave. We do have one citizen participant signed up tonight. All right, Miss Renee White.
So go to the official podium, right?
Yeah, I don't really know where the podium is.
I was gonna say, I saw it, I was looking for it, and I was like,
I mean, you
where's
can
this
stand
at?
front and center, I guess, if you wanted to, but
That don't bother me either. I
Yeah.
can do
wherever you
that.
want to go.
You
Miss
may not
White.
see behind the podium version.
You probably can't see me if I see the That's right.
All right, so starting now.
Gotcha. It is with heavy heart that I come to you this evening to announce my intention to retire from my teaching position here at Crawford County R2, effective June 30th, 2025. I've been a part of this district for 45 years of my life. 13 years as a student and 32 years as a teacher. It has been my privilege to serve the members of the community that I love so dearly. I begin this letter stating a heavy heart because I did not have the desire to leave before I felt my contributions to our district were complete. I believe, however, that it is the appropriate choice for me at this time, even though it was not my desire. My heartfelt best wishes for our students, staff, and community could not be stronger and is what must be considered at this time. So please accept this as my official notice of retirement intent. Thank you, Renee.
Thank you. Thank you. Next up, we have consent agenda. There are a list of items listed under consent agenda, and we would like to pull the county and city SRO contracts out of consent agenda to be voted on separately. Would you like to do that one first, or consent as a whole? Okay. So, you've had an opportunity to click through and read the different contracts. So we will need a motion to approve that one first.
Second.
Motion by Sherry Schutte, seconded by Roger Bridgman, to approve item G, city and county SRO contracts as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 5 yes, 1 abstain, 1 absent.
All right. Now we need a motion for the rest of consent agenda items. And of course, if anybody has a question, you're more than welcome to ask it.
Second.
Motion by Caitlin Mace, seconded by Chris Bell, to approve the consent agenda excluding item G as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Okay. Let's move into the financial statement in May bills. There's several different check runs in the bills for May. And if there are no questions, we need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Sherry Schutte, seconded by Roger Bridgman, to approve the financial statement and action on the May bills as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 5 yes, 1 abstain, 1 absent.
Okay. Let's move into administrative reports. Let's start with board and committee reports. I know there's not really any board committees that have been meeting recently. Sherry, do you have anything on MSBA side?
Just letting you know, I'm going to the summer summit in Branson in June. If anybody wants to see, I do have an agenda here, if anybody wants to see it.
Do you remember the dates for that?
15th through the 18th.
Okay. Great, thank you. Let's move into building principal reports. Have you all made it? Sherry, look barely hanging on.
They kind of all look
Okay, maybe behind it, Riley. Let's start at elementary.
Some of us leave for the beach in 2 days, so there's really nothing that can get me down at this
That's
point.
right.
They didn't tell you about next week?
They actually tried to trick me with that, and I was like, and we have an assistant principal here for
There was a
that.
slight panic for a second.
I did panic for just a minute. I was like, I swear it wasn't on the calendar. Okay, so outside of my board report, I am excited to report that we, as of today, have 187 students enrolled for summer school, which
Wow.
is new for me here, but is, I think, record-breaking, pretty high for our elementary building.
Wow.
We're excited to have a couple changes to the way it's been done in the past. One of those that I was going to mention tonight was we're doing Fun Fridays. So each Friday we have like a theme planned. One of them, for example, will be going to Hood Park, and we have Merrimack Springs meeting us there. And we'll rotate kids out from playing to come over and listen to a presenter, and they plan on doing, I think, amphibians and reptiles. So not my favorite. I'll be over on the swings and the slide. But we do have presenters coming. We'll do a water day and different things like that. But excited to kind of have some enrichment overlapping with the curriculum and have that many kids here this summer. So looking
That's
forward to
awesome.
that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Good job, elementary. You're almost there. One more day.
We're close.
Okay, let's move into middle school.
Well, middle school has been very busy these last couple weeks with lots of activities going on, but we did move up our 8th graders to the high school today. So after tomorrow, it's official, but we had a good promotion ceremony today, and we'll have our awards 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th tomorrow.
And you also had some kids break some school records in track this year. That's really awesome as well.
Yes.
You guys,
Cool.
Wyatt Littrell broke the 400-meter dash record, and Zaylin Kammer, Cooper and Carter
Meadows.
Cooper and Carter Meadows and Wyatt Littrell broke the 4x4 relay record. So
That's
at the
awesome.
last home meet.
Awesome.
And before we move on,
No,
Mrs. Shoemaker received
no.
the South
Yes.
Central Distinguished
Yes.
Principal
Yes.
Award a couple weeks ago. So it's a very, very distinct honor to represent Crawford County R2.
Great.
Oh, the Cardinal scare you didn't like that?
It's a great.
I love it, but she didn't like it for the work.
If you saw the picture, you would never know. You could have dress pants on.
Okay, let's move into high school.
Graduation went fantastic. Had a lot of good reviews from parents and students both, so couldn't ask for a better weather day. And tomorrow we're state send off for Justice Ebard. Hopefully she can place.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. That's always fun having somebody go to state. Good job. And special education report.
We had a lot of graduates out of the special ed department, so that was awesome.
That is awesome.
Very good.
Okay. Miss Abby.
I don't really have a full report this time, but I will say again that graduation did go very well. All the kids enjoyed it. And then the kids that did go to Project Grad, there was a lot of them, more than I thought were going to go. They all had a lot of fun there too. It was a good time.
That's a special thanks to all of those parents that put that on. I was that person last year, and it's a lot of work, so definitely thank your parents for doing all
All
of
the
that.
parents that were really good.
Yes. And I would also echo Mrs. Meese and Abby. I have only heard positive feedback from graduation, so that was a great thing for our district to be able to have it outside. You know, there's always learning curves along the way. You know, you may want to do one or two things different next time or whatever, but I think it was a great night, so good job. Assistant Superintendent report.
Yeah, I just wanted to highlight in my report our on-site review that we had for our federal programs. It's our title programs. That went extremely well. I've worked with Mrs. Green and then Mrs. Shoemaker. They're both Title I buildings, so there are a lot of stipulations and requirements that are involved with that. And our representative who came to do the on-site, she said it was the most well-organized visit that she had. They do 20% of Missouri schools every year, and that ours was the least amount of work because we had all all of our documentation where it needed to be, and we had done everything correctly. So that's a huge compliment
That is a
for our
huge
district.
compliment.
Yes.
Yes.
Document, document, document.
Yeah. Okay, superintendent report.
Yep, so one, we're very blessed with the good students we have, the good teachers here, all the celebrations. It's been fun just the last few weeks to sit in on those, watch those, see the different awards and certificates sent out. Just got notice of Mrs. White's retirement, so I would like to recognize her for her 32 years, so if we give her a round of applause. And then we also have Mr. Michael Klex with us. He's will be the high school principal next year here as well. So if you don't mind waving, say hello. Feel free to ask some questions. But no, just a lot of good celebrations at the end. Graduation went well. All of our speakers did an excellent job. It was put together very well. So.
Okay, good stuff. Let's move into unfinished business. First up, we have a 24-25 budget update.
Yes, our current budget, we're on track. Current expenses to date are 92.67%, and our revenues are 82.73%. And so we get in June, we'll get another June payment that'll bring that up to 100. So nothing this year that's caught us off guard. We've had a little bit of storm damage, but we're covered with our insurance there, although I'll get reimbursed. So grateful to be on track there.
And thankful for not more storm damage.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, let's get a 25-26 budget update.
So our budget is looking good for next year. It has projected ending reserve right there at 63.5%. So one of the things, legislative session just ended last week. So in the budget, if you have legislators that you work with, thank them for supporting public ed. So they are fully funding the foundation formula, transportation, career ladder, some things for us there. We are projected to have an increase in our student adequacy target, which is a multiplier, which is a good thing, but being instructed to be highly cautious that all that money will be sent out to the schools. So the governor has a task force put together to rewrite the foundation formula and would like that done by December 26th. But the thought is some of that money might be withheld just not to have to try to hit a higher bar when they do the foundation formula. So if we get that, that's just some additional funds we'll have, which would be useful. But right now we're in a good place financially, but kind of projecting it at 63% reserve.
After 20.
After the 25-26 school year.
Any questions about the 25-26 budget? Okay. Next up, we have to approve the purchase of 2 buses. There is a spreadsheet in your packet, just labeled bus bids, and it looks like we received bids from Midwest Transit and also Midwest Bus Sales, trading in 2 different buses, Bus 8 and Bus 13. Would you like to add to this?
So with this, Midwest Transit came in at $21,652 lower. So we have a good working relationship with them. So the recommendation is to purchase the bus from them. We did not go to selling the buses this year, as we only want to release buses to our community if they're in really good working order. So these we had some reservations with, so that's why we held them just for trade. But prices on buses are not going down, and continuing to increase. Just put that out there as well.
I know.
But yes, if the board would approve the purchase of those 2 buses from Midwest Transit Equipment.
Motion.
I'll second. Motion by Adam Carnell, seconded by Chris Bell, that we purchase 2 buses from Midwest Transit Equipment in the amount of $294,534, which includes the trade-in of 2 buses. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Okay, I appreciate just the work that the board has been committed to purchasing buses and keeping up with our fleet, because, you know, we have some terrible county roads and our buses take a beating, and it's important to get kids to school. Thank you for that. Let's move into the policy update. Last month, in the month of April, there was a policy in your packet. It looks like it was actually it's regulation, R2785. And you've had a month to review that. And so if there's not any questions, we do need a motion. Thank you, Sherry.
Second.
Motion by Sherry Judy, seconded by Chris Bell, to approve and adopt Regulation 2785 as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Okay, next up on the agenda is, it's capital projects. And last month we had our presentation and the big booklet from Corey Bextemuller. Did I say his name right? Thank you.
Good, you practiced that one.
So, really this time right now is just to try to find out how the board's feeling, and as far as moving forward with that. Probably some discussion on, do we need to create a committee to have further discussion? That way we can just be a little bit more mindful of our time as far as figuring out what the next steps are. Chris, do you have anything to add to that?
We met on the other day, and kind of the discussions that we had was, I think it probably is effective to create a committee that can deal with some of this and then bring all of it to us, and keep 20 people from trying to be involved in a meeting. I definitely think it's a process we need to pursue. We need to educate the public. It's going to be all about public education to let them understand that this isn't going to cost them. And Dr. Davidson had brought us a video the union had, and it was a very, very good video. The cost was very, very, very reasonable for what they produced. It was actually too cheap. In the world that I deal in, we couldn't have got that for 5 times the cost. Done.
And that video did go out to everybody to
Yes.
your email to take a look at.
Very educational. It's just pretty normal. It's not, it's not overly dramatized or anything. It's just an educational, and it's something that the committee, probably should look into pursuing as well.
I have a question. I agree with everything that you're saying. I was curious about timeline on committee and things like that. If we're gonna be approaching April, correct, of 26. I just was curious, since we're already May, like developing a committee and then getting a video or anything out to the public. Maybe not even question, really just wanted to maybe say that out loud, that we should probably be mindful of time constraints with us only, meeting now, we're now in the summer, and again, if we're gonna produce something maybe like
So I
that,
think I think that time-wise, I don't think that you would have trouble getting a video created or anything like that. I also think that with putting something on the ballot, and starting to educate people, yes, you need to get out in front of it, but you also don't want to get out in front of it too far.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
people will forget.
They
So,
Right.
They forget.
if you start it now, you just have to stay up with it. Because you don't want your community to just forget about it and, just be a thought that they heard about over the summer. When I looked at the capital projects list, I do not think that there was anything that was super frivolous or anything like that. I think the majority of it is just literally maintenance. There's security upgrades that need to be done at the high school, just to ensure our staff and our students' safety. That is that was definitely an expense in there. Painting our buildings, like keeping up with parking lots,
Adding
keeping up with
restrooms.
lighting,
Majority of the
HVAC,
It's all
Majority of the items are just things that have either accrued over years or just maintenance.
Yes.
There's nothing,
Yes.
things that need modernized to be with the times, such as the security features. There's nothing that I saw in it that you just look at and go, wow, that's not, everything's pretty well a need. And if it's not a need today, it's fixing it so it's not a bigger need in 2 years from now.
correct, yes. Yes. So, it sounds like, we're kind of all in agreement, we're kind of thinking that we need to move forward with this, and what are our next steps. So we can form a committee, at least appoint some people to a committee. We can do that now, before we move on, since this isn't actually like a voting topic at this point.
I think we probably should create the committee and then let everybody, take a week or so here to decide if they want to roll in it. I think we need to go ahead and, by creating it with holes left in it, then it's there, and that gets it out of the way in this meeting, because it's a process that has to start right now. I
Agreed.
feel. Just so that we're not jammed up in December trying to get verbiage and everything, and we're lost.
Agreed. Agreed. So committee would not be any more than 3 people. And if anybody has strong feelings right now that they want to say, yes, I 100% want to be on this committee, let's fill those 3 spots. If you guys want to, how do you want to do this?
I agree with that, yeah. I agree with that. I think that's what we need to do. Like you said, April will be here before we know it.
It will, absolutely. And everything just flies at this point. I mean, you've got a hot minute of summer and then we're back in school. So.
Don't say it like that.
I mean, that's the reality.
Each time it's looking really
Oh, wow.
You're
the heart.
I'm not even out yet.
But
We're not even asking.
yeah, for the board, kind of talking timelines, December is our deadline.
Yeah.
Try to lock in verbiage.
Yeah.
Because it has to file in January, but that'll be before our next board meeting, so, all that in order, starting now, we can work through that process.
Effectively, we really only have 5 months, because most of the month of December is lost due to holidays, and you can't, there's at least 2 weeks of it that you get nothing out of, so we really only have 5 months to
Yeah,
have this thing finished.
I think whenever I was talking about timeline, I wasn't necessarily concerned about getting something out to the public right this very second, but even for the board to decide of what we're going to go with, I think that's going to take just a little bit of time and talking committee-wise to even decide what you're going to push out in the fall to start, so.
Okay. Any willing participants that would like to be a part of this committee?
I hope sit on that committee.
I'll sit on the committee.
I would, unless somebody else
I
wants
was,
it.
do you want to sit on
There we
the
go.
committee?
I would, let's put you on there.
I just want, because I've been on it before, and,
You have experience.
no age.
I just said experience, that's all.
The biggest push from this project in general is going to be educating your public.
Absolutely.
And you've just got to be out there educating.
Even with, we have 3 on the committee because we can't have 4 on the committee, but anybody on the committee can speak to anybody else on the board.
Correct.
Individually, and we need to everybody needs to be involved in it, so.
Correct.
And on the
We
same
need to
page.
individually, you need to call me,
Yeah.
and we need
Same
to all be
page.
involved in this, because this is, it's a big ask of the community. It's a very justifiable ask of the community, and so we have to all be behind it and stay on the same page with it to make it happen. It would be really nice for it to have the proper education and get it through the first time and not have to try to
Yeah.
change it, because then we put it off a year and we put some of these items that are high up on the list don't need to be put, they're gonna cost more next year than they will this year.
Yes. I agree. Same page and one voice, that's what we have to go forward with, because if we have different stories and different things, it's not gonna, so you have to be on the same page with one voice.
Okay.
Thank you guys for doing that.
Okay, let's move on to new business. First up, we have some roof maintenance that we need to approve. It looks like we've got some roofs that we need to get taken care of before warranties run out.
Yep, so we've got the roofs broken up and scheduled for different years. So this year is the middle school needing to have maintenance done to it. So normally we do up to $175,000 worth of work, but UV protectant that goes over it and the sun just breaks it down over time. But the good thing is keeping those updated, the warranty refreshes every time we do it. If there's any issue, it gets covered there. It's just good to keep water out of our buildings. It's a huge maintenance item. And if you want to view those, it's on our webpage. When it does the aerial, you can actually see our pretty white roofs with all the work that goes into them. So that's what you see. That's what they do when you do the work.
Okay. Keeping those roofs leak-free
Yeah.
takes care of further problems.
Absolutely does.
So we do need a motion to move forward with the roof maintenance.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Chris Bell, seconded by Caitlin Mace, to complete maintenance on the middle school roof up to $175,000 during the 2025-26 school year through Stiles Roofing. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Okay, next up, we have the Fresh Ideas food contract. It looks like they have increased the cost by 2% for the 25-26 school year, and we would like to stay with Fresh Ideas.
Yes, if you would. So, I met with them a few weeks ago. They're only increasing 2%, which is pretty low, honestly, with food services. And so it's a year to year with them at this point, but right now they're significantly under meal prices from what other competitors have. So, and their service has been pretty good to this point. I eat the school lunches myself most days. Tastes pretty good.
I'll make the motion to I'll second that.
Motion by Adam Carnell, seconded by Roger Bridgman, to approve the Fresh Ideas Service Management Contract as presented for the 2025-26 school year. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Next up, we have a meal price adjustment for the 25-26 school year. Looking like for the 25-26 school year, student and adult breakfast will be $2.07. Student and adult lunch will be $2.86. Reduced breakfast is set at 30 cents and reduced lunch is set at 40 cents. And those are, it's basically, you have to, kind of that's your option, you have to.
Mm-hmm. So those increases with our audits from DESE, we're required to raise it 10 cents. And so even at raising that, we still can cover the prices with even that food contract that we the board just approved, because we're a not-for-profit with food services, and so we have to be at or below or negative with that. So, but we are required by DESE to increase those meal prices, and then the 30 cents and 40 cents for the reduced breakfast and lunches set by the state. So that's out of our control.
Motion by Caitlin Mace, seconded by Adam Carnell, to increase the meal prices for the 2025-26 school year as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Next up, we need to approve applying for the Missouri Quality Pre-Kindergarten Grant.
Yep. So this is a grant the state's going to continue to fund at least for next year. We're going for that, but that will help offset any costs for pre-K that we start up with. So that just opened up, I think, a day or two ago. If the board wouldn't mind approving that application, we'll take it.
Second.
Motion by Caitlin Mace, seconded by Roger Bridgman, to approve applying for the Missouri Quality Pre-Kindergarten Grant as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Next up, we have Board of Education approved agenda items. There are none. Resident agenda items, there are none. And our last item for open session is we need to approve the regular board meeting for June.
Well, the 19th will be our third Thursday.
Yep.
Oh. Holiday?
Juneteenth.
Oh. Silly.
actually have it visually.
Summer school will still be.
Yeah.
Is that a good time for bills and stuff?
It is.
Are you guys, anybody doing really any crazy thing on the 19th that you can't be here? Or does that work for everybody?
I'll make,
Hey, you're not making it, you're just, I'm just asking you a question.
I'll make the motion to do, June 19th at 6 p.m. 2025 as the year.
Thank you very much. I'll second that. June the 19th of 2025, the year.
Didn't do that in order, but you get what I'm saying.
Motion by Caitlin Mays, seconded by Roger Bridgman to schedule the regular June board meeting on Thursday, June 19th, 2025 at 6 p.m. with closed session to follow. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Okay, next up, we need a motion to go into closed session after 8:10 minutes.
Motion by Caitlin Mays, seconded by Chris Bell to go into closed session in accordance with the provisions of section 610.021, subsection 3 and 13 of the revised statutes of the board in order to discuss personnel after a 10-minute recess. Roger?
Yes.
Adam?
Yes.
Caitlin?
And I love recess.
Tammy is absent. Sherry?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
6 yes, 1 absent.
I still think we should do recess.